The families of new immigrants will be allowed to see their loved ones here, but only the families of new immigrants. According to a Knesset committee's decision, the cutoff will be 4 years since the immigration date. With us now is Blue and White Party Knesset lawmaker Michal Cotler-Wunsh to tell us more. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. Tell me more about why it was important for you to fight, and this was a weeks-long fight, months even, to fight so that new Olim could see their families in Israel.
Yes, I want to start with a fundamental understanding of exactly what you touched upon and recognize that this is an official sort of acknowledgement of the importance of Aliyah in terms of the mission, vision, and values of the state of Israel, the Jewish and democratic state of Israel as we know it. They're very Aliyah, and also of the challenges of Olim in leaving everything behind always, and in particular at this time. And I want to begin by saying it is imperative, and this is really important to say, that we find a balance between the health concerns and constraints COVID-19 related, as in every other country, and the understanding that while factoring in health, we also have to look at the emotional and mental health concerns that we have. And Olim are really in that predicament where they have left everything behind. So having said all that, and as somebody who clearly has family behind and understands the implications, this is really a work in progress, as you suggested. It's been months, basically chipping away at the existing policy, and each time managing to add an additional component, an additional criteria that reflects those fundamental understandings.
Yeah.
So I'd say in August, that looked like grandparents being able to enter to visit their newborn babies, parents of Olim, and then being able to extend that to lone soldiers and Bnot Shirut who are here on their own. And I'll tell you that I receive hundreds and hundreds of emails from Olim in this situation, of course, understandably, not being able to see their loved ones, especially during this challenging time of COVID-19. So I actually presented an official question, a formal question to the Ministry of Interior, and received a very unacceptable answer that there will be no comprehensive policy, or that there isn't one being worked on. And that's been the series of events thus far. We've asked, and we did successfully have the urgent discussions at the Aliyah and Klita Committee. And I have to say that the chair, David Bitan, has understood right from the get-go the importance of this. And of course, I understand the immigration authorities'
concern. Can I ask about the cutoff, if I can? The cutoff, though, and I know that you're getting this question already, is 4 years. I'll note honestly here, I'm impacted personally by this. This impacts me as an Olem myself. I myself, soon after my father died, made Aliyah 4 years ago. I came here as a Zionist to find a career and find a family. So, but by the time the policy goes into effect in just 3 weeks, for me, it's 4 years and 1 month. So does that mean my mother can't visit me, her 15-month-old grandson? Is there a grace period, or could it be extended? Tell us more about that.
So I'll say this. First of all of the criteria still exist. So and it's important to know this. There is a component of a humanitarian committee that meets all the time, regularly, to discuss special cases. That'll continue. And all of the other criteria that I've mentioned, lone soldiers, Bnot Shirut, babies that were born since the beginning of COVID-19, and so forth, they actually remain as separate criteria. This is sort of an extension, an additional criteria, if you will, Olim that have been in the country for up to 4 years. And I agree with you. Of course, I'm committed to continue sounding this voice, to extending the sort of inaccuracy and cutting off at 4 years and not 4 and a month or 5 years. Or what I would say is the need for transparent policy in terms of all Olim. So whereas each law actually defines Olim a little bit differently, but up to 10 years. I think that we're making headways, and I believe that this, first of all, is one more way to assure the authorities that a lot of their concerns can be assuaged, and that we are addressing, of course, the care with which people will enter, of course, under all of the directions of the Ministry of Health. That's very important to say. None of this is, including quarantining, including the testing that'll be required, and so forth. And I believe, look, we're at a constant struggle for this balance. The only thing is that it's a matter of prioritizing, and Olim have this very specific situation that it needs to be prioritized and addressed and acknowledged and recognized. So whereas Israelis, and I'm much the same as you in that category of family, and I've been here for longer, that can't come and visit actually. And by the way, I have to say it's only immediate family, right? That's another constraint. And we have to understand all the time that there are real concerns. We're looking to other countries' policies. For example, Canada has immediate family, first degree, and significant others. So spouses, whether they're married or not, or partners, I should say rather, as an immediate visitation rights, of course, with health constraints that may be.